Hello, good afternoon students. How are you? I hope you all are enjoying in home. Home, stay safe and learn interestingly. So, as previous 3 videos we have made on geography, but now we have to step forward onwards the history. But before step forward, we have to take a little bit information about our syllabus, what exactly we are going to learn and why we are going to learn. This one first important question, why we are going to learn the history. So basically from 6th standard we are learning the history subject, but if we know the importance of learning history, one time if you are taking part into the learning in history interestingly, then it become more joyful for you. So basically we have to first try to know why we are learning the history. If anyone asks to you what is a history, in a scientific method we can tell that history is a science of past events, but it is not enough for us or for the front person. Basically, history that gives us shape to our present and future. History makes a person stand on his feet, develop his confidence. In one word, the meaning of history is inspiration. So for that, we are going to know what we are going to learn in the 10th standard history. See, we already know that 3 types of history we are learning in our whole curriculum from 6th standard upward to 10th standard. Ancient, modern and medieval. Ancient, medieval and modern. But here we have to learn in 10th standard, we are that much mature that, so why we are learning history, and in 10th standard what exactly useful for us. Basically our content is based on applied history. In 10th standard, history is totally based on applied history. So what is meant by applied? Applied means we are going to apply our information, our knowledge in the various field, in various sections of occupation or business, whatever your career field, etc. So first of all, we will see many students have doubts about their syllabus. They have a little bit interest about history and they have doubt. So is it really history is useful for in their career or in their life? What is the usefulness of it? So whenever we will see, this is very difficult to clear these all doubts, but we can clear these all doubts with the information. So that information we are going to get today. So what type of information we are going to get? So mainly if we see, peoples in every field, they working, they have a little bit knowledge about their field, but they must know the exact background, the exact history of their field. Maybe craft field, maybe art, maybe music section, maybe any other work. All the works have the history that we are going to know today. Okay. So that we are going to see. Okay. So we will see what in this book we will learn about applied history. Basically, we have to apply our knowledge, whatever we are learning through this book. We have to apply in our professional skill, in our occupations. So let's see many of the people find interesting, many of the students choosing the history as an exciting subject and as a hobby. So some the students have the hobby to find out the exact what happened in the past. They have an interest, so they have a habit to learn about history. Now the next one, professional opportunities. If you are choosing history, then it is a question in front of all. Is it really there any professional opportunity in the field of history? Yes, I tell you definitely there are many other opportunities that we are going to learn from this book in the next chapter. And after that we will see the all occupations have particular history. Basically, for example, I am a teacher now. So about this profession in a background, if we see the past, it also has a history. If we see our educational system, our old and our ancient educational system, that also about that also we will get information through the history. The next one, what history gives us exactly and what we are going to learn. So whatever we are learning from the text about the history, about the particular occupation, that enhancement of individual occupation skills. So we have to develop our individual occupational skills. How? Taking the inspiration from the history, taking the information, collecting the information from the history. We have to develop, we have to be confident in our professional individual occupational skills. We have to develop and we have to step forward and we have to develop our career. So whatever information we are getting from this text and what history does exactly contains every professional work that we have to apply in our day-to-day life. Okay, understood? Okay students, now unit wise we are going to see what exactly we are going to learn from each content. So first we have to see what in first two chapters what we are going to learn, and after that what. So first from first unit we are going to learn critical summary of history from critical summary of history from ancient to modern period. Ancient to modern period. So what points we are going to learn from this critical summary of history? We have to summarize the history of ancient to modern period. Critical summary. In a short we are going to see how the history in ancient and modern period. Okay, so in that few points are there. Explain the tradition of historiography. So what is historiography that we are going to see in first chapter only. So in short I will tell you now only historiography. Historiography means one of the one of the writing of historical events, collecting all information. The writing of historical information is called historiography. And the next, understand that a number of Western thinkers have contributed the development of a discipline in historiography. See, in the first chapter, the development in a West that we are going to see, the in Western countries who are the historians are given their contribution for writing in the field of historiography. Writing means historiography. That contribution also we are going to see. The next one, studies various period of Indian history with a critical and comparative viewpoint. So studies of various periods. Basically we see there are three periods: ancient, modern, ancient, medieval and modern. So we are going to compare also, and we have to see how with the timeline they have passed, that we are going to see. Again, obtain information regarding the historical research done in India in other countries. So which are the historical events or research took place in India and other countries, that also we are going to see in a first chapter, means in a first unit. The name of the unit is historiography and the development in the West, that we are going to see afterward. The next one, explain that history is a scientific discipline. How the history is a scientific discipline that we are going to see how it is based on science that we are going to see in today's modern age, that afterward we are going to see. These all things we are going to see in first unit, in between first two chapters, and afterward our next point is applied history, and what we are going to learn applied history, that we are going to see now. Okay. Okay, second point, applied history. So in this what we are going to learn, see, understand the concept of applied history. Concept. We are trying to know the concept, how to apply the knowledge of history in our day-to-day life. This much is here. The next one, understand the applicability of history in various fields and also in a real life. See, many fields are there for the career, and we have to apply that knowledge and our day-to-day life, in real life, how we have to use the knowledge of history and how we can get inspired by it, so that we are all going to learn in next point. So mass media and history. If you see, the today's age is totally dependent on a mass media. So mass media, the medium which gives you information, that connection between you and government, or all things, you are connected with each other globally while with the internet. We are using telecommunication, television, mobile phone, TV, radio, these are all things, newspaper, magazine, books, these are these things. These are today is called media. And how we are using it, what is the use of it in day-to-day life, and how it is useful in development of history in our life, and that also we are going to see. And the history of media also, how the media come to how it emerged, that also we are going to see. The birth of media, the history, then we will know. And next one that we are going to see, entertainment, media and history. See, government started television, mobile internet, computers are also there, few channels are also there. So they do the work to entertain us. So for the entertainment, what role media plays and when it started, about that also we are going to take the knowledge from their history. And now next one, art, sports, literature and history. Art, sport, literature and history. Art, sport, literature and history. So basically, if we see in art, many fields are there: music, painting, sculpture. These are things are there. Songs also, singers are also there. Many things, many professional opportunities are there. So development of art, exact background of art, history we are going to see, and about the sports, and about also literatures, which type of literature or novels are available in India and out of in a foreign, that we are going to see in this section. Okay. Okay, now we are going to see deeply about the third point, mass media and history. Basically, we have to learn only the relation between mass media and history, the background, the history of mass media. So understand, see, brings out the interrelation between mass media and history. Interrelation, mass media and history, and develops the independent historical outlook with the help of various media. See, media is a very essential thing to the development of history, and it provides a much effective knowledge to us. So that's why media plays important role in between us means history and us. The next one, obtains information regarding the specialization in a concerned professional field. See, about any professional field, if we need more information, that also provides by media. The next one, entertainment, media and history. Explain the necessity of entertainment. Basically, if we see in our home, many other sources are available for the entertainment, but in that one most famous is the television. So what is the necessary, what is the use, why media is important for entertain us? So that is the usefulness also we are going to see. Next one, throws a light on in the interrelation between entertainment and history. Understand the changes that have taken place in the entertainment media. So changes from the old age to now. See, when the television came to our life, from that period to now, what changes we can see now. Directly we got a satellite telecasting or broadcasting system, so that we are going to see, and what changes in radio, that also about frequencies, that also we are going to see now. Okay, here we will continue next point. Okay, next fifth point we have to see. Third, okay, sorry. After third, the entertainment, media and history, that we have already learned. Now fifth point, art, sports, literature and history. In that we have to see, gives a description of various arts in India. See, many fields are there: singing or sculpture, painting, again music, many are there, dance also is there. So in this art section, the importance that we are going to see, and history also about it. And next one we are going to see, the sports takes a pride achievement. What type of achievement took by the Indian players or Indian sports persons, that also we are going to learn. And the next one, history, studies various aspects of art, sports, literature and explains their historical application. How the history affects for their inspiration, that also we are going to see in art, sports, literature and history. Okay. Next, sixth point we are going to see, tourism and history. Tourism and history. So about tour and the field, what type of opportunities are available for in the field of tourism section, directly on the field. So what opportunities about for employment, that also we are going to see in the tourism field. Understand the relevance in history in the field of tourism. So history we are going to see in the field of tourism, what kind of history is there. Next we are going to see identifies the opportunities in the field of tourism in our country. So opportunities, basically, first one example I want to tell you, that guides are available in the field of any historical place, they guiding us, and that one of the job opportunity for the people. And also the next one, many were the vendors or shopkeepers and sellers are there. So these are the opportunities based on the tourism field. Next one, understand the interrelation between the history and tourism. So what is the connection of history and tourism, that also we are going to see. And the last point, history and other disciplines. So in the field of that, highlights the importance of museums and libraries and archives. So archives, what is meant by archive, that we are going to see afterward. And understand the objective of analysis of possible historical studies. We are going to analyze, we have to we are going to study the historical events, and last one can correlate between the history and other disciplines. So these are all points we are going to see in a whole syllabus. So here little bit the introduction of syllabus, competency statements, and then after now we are going to proceed our next lesson, means first lesson of history, that the historiography and development in the West. Okay, so let's proceed towards the our first chapter, subject history, in that historiography development in the West. So first question in your mind, what is mean by historiography? That I will explain afterward, but few points are there that we are going to see. The 1.1 first point, tradition of historiography. So 1.1, tradition of historiography. You don't have any idea about this, because already in previous classes we have learned only about the historians. But what about this? That I will tell you afterward. But if you want to know in a short what is meant by historiography, then I will explain now only. So historiography is one of the process of writing, means the tradition of writing narrative of historical information. So whatever historical information we are collected, that writing is called historiography. Did you got the idea about this? Okay. So see first in that after we are going to see modern. See first this point, the tradition of historiography. We are going to see the tradition, what exactly the history behind it, when it started, for what purpose the historiography is used, and then after we are going to see modern historiography, based on which concept, that we have 1.2, the modern historiography. Modern historiography. Modern means in today's age, what type of techniques, tools we are using. So one point that mainly I want to tell you, that we are using the scientific methods, research methods. We are examining the collected information. So in modern age, but in a past age, in previous age, we don't have any type of scientific experiments. So that's why we cannot recreate the situation, and we cannot use or cannot study with the scientific methods. So basically in a tradition of historiography, we have to see only how the history took place with the help of sources. There are three main sources, written, material and oral. So through that all sources we are going to learn about old history, but in modern we are using the new techniques, experimentation technique also we are using, that we are going to see afterward. So next point we are going to see 1.3 of development of scientific perspective in Europe and historiography, and fourth one, noble scholars. So in Europe means already I told, the development in the West means in European countries, some of the scholars they have given their valuable contribution for the development of history, that we are going to study, and who is the father of modern history, that also we are going to see about these all scholars. So just we are going to introduce, are going to see the first point, historiography, in our first part. Okay. So mainly if you see the many were the historians, they have an objective, some aims, some achievements behind their work, behind their research. They studying history and they using sources. This timeline, this continuous process work, and after that in physical and natural sciences, empirical method, laboratory method and experimentation method in today's age we are using for the study of the information. Okay. Okay students, we will see now the one of the method we are using in a modern historiography. So empirical method. So what empirical method exactly contains, that we are going to see. This method mainly we are using in a modern historiography. So in this, what we are doing, laboratory method or experiments and observation. Basically, we have modern techniques today. So we can do the experiment on collected information of history while studying the history, and we can also use observation skills. But as same, we cannot use or apply these all experiments method on past events. Because of why? Because we cannot create a past event again or recreate. So we only have to learn the past events based on the sources. But today we can, in today's days, we can use historical methods, experimentation method, and observation technique and skills for the learning of historical method. So empirical method is mainly used into the modern historiography. Okay. So in this we will see the physical and natural sciences empirical method, laboratory method or experiments and observations is used to verify the available knowledge. Available knowledge means in today whatever available knowledge about history, for that we are using this method. This method allows the formulating laws and remain true irrespective of the time and the space. Those laws can be tested and proved repeatedly. Using these experimentation skills and observation techniques or methods, this empirical method, using this we can create a law for the history and we retreat it and we can use in our daily life. Okay. In historical research, it may not be possible to use method of laboratory and experiments and observation. This is so because we were not present at that time. So we were not present in the historical time and space, and the historical events cannot be recreated. Also in history, it is not possible to formulate laws and that remain irrespective to the time and space. So in short, the observation or the empirical method or experimentation method is not used or not applicable for the history which already over. But whatever we are learning about today's historical information, on that we can apply this method, but not on a already totally which took place, which is in a past. On that history we cannot apply this method. So next one we are going to see in this. To begin, we need an expert who knows the language and script of a historical document in order to read. Suppose we are going to search or collect the information, and suppose we are going to find out the source for the history. Then we need an expert who has exact knowledge about the language to read the scripts, to identify the object. So for we need experts, and also who examine the objects. Also the experts can examine the authentically the document by using the criteria such as lettering style, author style of writing, manufacturing date and type of paper, stamps and authority, etc. Suppose who is going to write the narrated or collected information about history, that author, that writer must have a knowledge about lettering or writing style, and about the author's style, and also about he must have the knowledge about paper and documentation, whatever he is going to use for the writing. So writing means historiography, using the method of historiography. Such document is further scrutinized by the historian with the help of relevant historical references. Suppose any person is going to write or narrate the information on a book, means he is going to write a book, with using a method of historiography, that time he must have took a legal permission from the historian, and also he must have the relevant references. Relevant means related, the strong references about the history he must use while narrating the information with using method of historiography. Okay. Okay students, we are going to see now historical research method. Which method? Historiography. So about this we are going to learn now. So if any person or any author is going to write or narrate the information in written form, so that time on what base he must write the book, based on which source he can use this method and narrate the book. So that points we are going to see now. So writing of historical narrative. So historical book he is going to write, any author. So what type of information he must know, that we are going to see through the web chart. So here we already got in a textbook one of the web chart we are going to see now. So first point, examining relevant references. Examining relevant references. See, whatever reference the author will get, he must examine, he must study deeply about those all references. Then he have to write, or he have to write the historical narrative using the historical research method. Next point we are going to see in this only, relevant references of the available historical information. So references are all based on available historical information. So he must know, he must examine, means he must study all information well, and then he should write the he must write the book. Next point we are going to see, critically examining the various sources of history. Here I will write critical examining historical sources, various sources of history, various sources of history. See, mainly we know history is divided into three sources: written source, oral source, and material source. In oral source we can see the folk songs, stories are there, but in a written source we have stated that the books, magazines, novels, whatever written information on inscriptions, on stone inscriptions, this type of all information will come on written source. And material source, the pots, coin, jewelry, whatever objects there are, all these things will come into the material source. But critical examination of various sources of history. So critically he must study or examine those are books or the materials he using are really related to that incident or related to that timeline. He must find out about it, and then he should proceed for the narrating the historical information. Okay. So next point we are going to see formulating relevant questions in view of the historical references. Formulating the questions. See, if you want information, you must have questions. So your all questions, whatever you formatted the questions according to your knowledge, that you must find out. Okay. Okay, third point we are going to see formulating relevant questions. Formulating relevant questions. These questions should be formed on the basis of available historical information, and then that questions are applicable for writing of historical information using the source, using the method, historical research method, means historiography. So next point we are going to see in this one, collecting historical information, highlighting the process that lead to the historical transitions, carrying out comparative analysis. Mainly important point, comparative analysis. At the beginning, first video I told you, analysis is also important while learning geography or history also. So whatever information the author will collect, he must analyze it and come through the base of comparison and gather the information for the writing historical book. Next point we are going to see, formulating hypothesis. Important one, formulating hypothesis. See, whatever information the author writes, after that at the end he must give his conclusion, one of his imaginary or whatever opinion he must give at the end of the book, so that formulating hypothesis. So he must formulate his imaginary hypothesis, that is considered as a conclusion for that writing. So these all points. See last one again, understanding the references regarding time and space of the given historical events, and also various conceptual frameworks used in historical research method. While using historical research method, the author must have knowledge or must pay the attention on the timeline and the space and exact incident took place on particular place. So that point also mentioned into the historical narrative, means writing book using historical research method, means in bracket historiography. So while using historiography, the author must have the knowledge or must use these all points in his writing, then he should narrate the book on collected historical information. Okay. Okay students, many historians using the methods for the study of history. So while studying history, which type of methods they using, what type of disciplines are important in that. So those all methods we are going to see now in that. So first point, methods of various disciplines. Methods of various disciplines. Are useful in historical research. Are useful in historical research. While researching, we know they already learned that chronological method or archaeology, we know that only one, but many other methods are there for researching or collecting information in the field of history. So which are they that we are going to see? That first one we will see, for example, archaeology. So in this one, the historian directly on the field, they dig any field and they can take out whatever the materials they will get, they use for references as a historical sources. In archaeology, they will whatever buried material they will get on the direct place. So that is used in the field of archaeology. Now next one, archiver. So about this, we know archival science or manuscriptology or epigraphy. The next one we can say, manuscript means small books, small written sources. Archival means the archives, the small books, those are novels, they are written sources, they are available in a library, means they using for the research, that comes into the archival. So next one we are going to see analysis of lettering style. Analysis of lettering style. Analysis of lettering style. Lettering style, basically in the past, many were the writers used different type of font, means script. So in modern period, the author or a researcher, means historian, must have the knowledge about the lettering. Lettering means whatever font used for the writing or script used for writing. So he must have the knowledge about analysis. Suppose any person have a knowledge of Japanese or German, so he must analyze the particular information. Next one, linguistic or numeristic study of coins. Must have a knowledge, the author or a researcher or a historian must have a knowledge about the languages, and also numerics means about the numbers. And the last one point we are going to see, genealogy. So what it exactly contains? Genealogy. See, one example I will tell you firstly. In old days, after the death of king, his child, means prince, will take a right of throne and he will rule on his kingdom after his father. So this generation goes continuously. So about their whole generation, whatever information is there, this all information comes into the genealogy. In short, we can say the information about the generation is called genealogy. In genealogy, about each and every generation, each and every person, about his life and his work, this all information comes into the genealogy. So what? Whenever historian or author who is going to write a book, he must use the method of genealogy and he must find out the information about a particular generation which ruled over a particular country, and he should write information based, write book on based the information of particular king, queen or a prince. Okay. Now we are going to see next one, tradition of historiography. Okay. Okay students, I hope you understood the historiography. Still not, then once again I want to revise for you. See, listen. We have learned about the historical research method, critically examining and the historical sources and writing the historical narrative. So historical research method we have learned. In that what we are doing, we are examining whatever sources we have got, and also we are writing the historical narrative based on that information. And the writing of critical historical narrative is called historiography. So whatever writing is there, that is called historiography. A scholar who writes such narrative is a historian. So any author, any person who write this narrative, that is called historiography. So method of writing, that process or that method is called historiography. The historian cannot include every past event in the narrative. See, many of the past events already took place, but historians are unable to put all type of information into the narrative while writing, while using historiography method. So what he must do, see, in the inclusion and interpretation of the historical events by the historian often depends on the conceptual framework adopted by his style of writing. This is determined by the conceptual framework. So if he cannot able to add the whole information which took place in the past, then he can use the conceptual framework and he can put that information into that in a short summary. The tradition of writing historical narrative, that is a historiography, was not prevalent in the ancient societies of the world. See, in ancient time there is this type of historical method. This is started in modern age. So how they wrote, where they applied their knowledge about the history, that we are going to see, was not prevalent in ancient societies of the world. However, that does not mean that they were not aware of historical time or were not eager to know about it. See, today we know the history, but we cannot say that if they don't have the historical method, means historiography, means this is not a declaration of that they don't have knowledge of their history. They also used some methods to write history or preserve history in particular way. So those ways now we are going to see. Which are those ways they preserved history, that now we are going to see. Okay. In a history, people were interested to keep their historical events preserved, but we cannot say that they are not eager or they are not interested for keeping their records. They also have kept their records in some ways. So which are those ways, that we are going to see now. Ancient communities all over the world use various means like cave paintings. The first way they have kept their history preserved through the cave paintings. We already have studied this. The next one, storytelling. So by oral source, many people have used the way of storytelling, and through this they preserve their historical moments or historical incidents, and this comes into the oral source, and they have passed that all stories, historical stories, from their timeline to our modern age. Now next we are going to see singing songs and ballads. So singing songs, many were the songs. While singing the songs, they have described about the valor and bravery of the king and queens, and also while singing they use ballads, the musical system, the musical instrument they have used in the past for the telling the stories or the anything special incident about the particular person. They have expressed themselves by the songs. Next one we are going to see, these traditional means are looked upon as the sources of history in the modern historiography. See, today we are writing the modern historiography, we writing the based on experimentation, observation, we using laboratory techniques, but this is in modern age. But whatever all stories, old material, historical sources, cave paintings and all monuments, these all things are used as a historical sources while writing modern historiography. These all sources we using while writing modern historiography. So today we here learn how the people kept or preserved their history, and that we learn today. Now we are in next video we are going to learn how today modern historiography is narrating by the authors, that we are going to learn in next video. So stay happy, stay connected with our channel and learn many things, and we will meet again in next video. Thank you.